From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason here at Signature Esports, and a pleasure it is to have you here live and in charge. The Duck Press Media Solutions Strictly Stock Truck Series round of 3 gets ready. I say the round of 8, the third round in the playoffs, the round of 8, getting ready to be all shake and bake here at Kansas Speedway. 140 laps for the drivers. Here is a look at the old playoff grid. Right now, James Cato, Brock Johnston, Jesse Cottrell, GT, Nick Sawyer, Scotty Grove, Richard's going to be out there, and Gavin Hibbs competing for the round of 8. But more than just 8 drivers out here. Everybody fighting for a place of history here as they work on getting themselves to the end of their season. Just a few more races left in the series. They're going to have a champion very, very shortly. But before we do that, we're going to have some heavy racing. Kansas is a fun racetrack, and I'm excited to see what they kind of bring to the mix here today. We watched Texas earlier, and that was a little bit dicey. It looks like so far in practice, that's exactly what we're seeing. Seeing a lot of slick tracks today when it comes to the iRacing platform. So we'll see what happens over the course of it. A race information: 140 laps for the drivers, one fast repair, 5 sets of tires. This is round 3 of the playoffs, and it's the first race in this round. And they chose a good track. I do like Kansas. It's of course a local track to me here in the Midwest, and we'll see just what these drivers are going to be able to do. 70 degrees on the track temperature, 70 degrees at air temperature. Now, they are practicing right now. We'll see what happens when it comes to race time, if there's any changes that are to be made whenever that happens, because we often see that the track temperature can change and cool down a little bit over the course, not just of racing, but practice and qualifying. They're going to have a qualifying session up here in about 30 seconds. And they'll get that ready to go. Some things to remember. Fuel strategy is going to be a big factor here for these drivers as they continue to run their races, especially in an impactful race where fuel strategy is usually king. I do think that today might be that race where we see just who's going to have that long haul. Joe Francis out there. Good to see you, Joe. He is going to be your race controller. 10 drivers in the field for qualifying, and Cottrell is fastest in the old practice session. So we'll see who's going to have it for the end of this one, and it'll be a ton of fun. DuckPress.com for all of that fun. Duck Press has ton of different solutions. You can print, you can get printing done in large format, blueprint, kind of just any type of reprographics. They have signs and banners, digital and video stuff. You can get some cards from them. Whatever you need, give them a call, 520-795-1700, or you can email them, marketing@duckpress.com. They are located in Tucson, Arizona, open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but they do ship all over the U.S., so make sure that you go and check them out, because you can have a solution near you, and they are locally owned and operated there in Tucson. Let's see. Ryan, thank you for the like. Jesse, thank you for the like. Mark, thank you for liking the share out there. Appreciate you. Shared it over to our Signature Esports Live Facebook group. Thank you for the likes out there on the YouTube channel as well. Lucas and Among Us player. Lucas IT Among Us player. Not sure. And thank you to all the folks out there on Twitch. We appreciate you very much. It is always a ton of fun. Now, we will be making some changes to the graphics. I've got some stuff that we're working on. I am going to be office bound tomorrow. I've got a ton of photos that I have to edit, and made some edits, and sometimes edits stick, sometimes they don't. Wasn't very happy with the way I did some things, so I'm going to be making that work. And the same thing with what we do with iRacing. I try to improve my craft every day. We're going to continue to try to do that over the course of racing platforms that we're able to do. Coming up here very soon, we're going to have some podcasting going, and that's going to happen. There's Nick Sawyer and his Ghostbusters machine. I do like his truck. It's one of my new favorites that we've seen. Johnston, super fast in qualifying. So is Gavin Hibbs. Both of those drivers separated by 2/100ths of a second. Richard right there, 3/100ths of a second off Gavin at the moment. So throw up the tower so you see who's where and why and how. Make sure if you do so, if you haven't done so, give us a like, give us a follow, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Always a pleasure to have everybody in the chats and out there just kind of having fun. Caution sponsors. Nerds Do Nerd Things. They are our caution sponsor. We have a great affiliation also with Split Second Gaming. Their F1 series up and running on their platform, and look forward to seeing what they're going to do. SplitSecondGaming.com.au. They are Australian counterparts. We love to see other platforms getting out there and trying to compound and do the things that they need to do, just like we do over here. So I appreciate Shane and all the folks over there at Split Second Gaming. Rick Javorka in fourth in qualifying. There's the 52. He's going to slow down, come to pit road, I do believe. Is going to make it work. Qualifying will be finishing up here in about 60 seconds. When it does, we'll have that green green flag run here just for the sake of, hey, let's have some fun. Kevin gave us a follow earlier. Thank you, Kevin. Chris Goins, thank you. He was in the last race. Appreciate you very much for following out there. Cottrell is the guy that runs all the stuff over here. It's all good. Started a little early today. Wanted to make sure that I had everything kind of lined up and lined out. Never know what's going to happen. And I had some issues, and it's been prominent here Sunday afternoons, but Sunday evenings have been working out pretty good for me so far. Congratulations to all the folks out there who are graduating this season. 2022 has been a good year for graduates. My niece actually graduated just 2 days ago or 3 days ago, Saturday or Thursday. Today's Sunday. So yeah, Thursday. And so congratulations to her. She absolutely is going to move on to bigger and better things as well. College life, the adult life, craziness, all craziness. All right, Kansas, 140 laps, starting grid. Brock Johnston, James Cato, it's your front row. Gavin Hibbs, Javorka, third row. Scotty Grove and Richard Lakewa in the third row. There's Holt Johnston and Jesse Cottrell in the fourth row. GT and Nick Sawyer will make up that final row. We're going to see just how long tires are going to hold on here, because that is a huge play into this race. And for what it's worth, folks, it's going to be interesting. Anthony, thank you for the like out there. Says, get at it, boys. Anthony had a race earlier at slippery track there at Texas. We were just talking about that, and it is what it is tonight. Joe, why aren't you out there running? You should get out there and race. It's all about that round of 8. You can get out there and throw some stuff their way, right? And I'm seeing the same thing here at Kansas. It just seems like today is the day for iRacing to show itself, show its true colors when it comes to track. Even the next gen cars were slippery. And it looks like these trucks are kind of dicey as well. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a pitter patter. Let's get at her. You know what I mean? Memorial Day weekend next weekend. For those who are out there, thank you for the like out there, Anthony. Appreciate you. That's going to be interesting around our area because our tourist community is huge. They're afraid you'll win. So what? We'll send. Start from the back. You know what? Give them a 2-lap head start. 2-lap head start for Joe. Yeah, that's what they were saying. I'd heard quite a bit about it, and like I was saying in the race earlier, sometimes whenever it's real slick, real early, it's all about tire pressures and trying to, especially in the next gen cars. I have noticed that you've got to really build up the tire pressures for them to really want to stick into the ground. And today was no short of that. You guys just couldn't get rolling. And once you did, boy, the racing was good. Boy, it was good. It was going to the point where that green flag pit stop really put some things in, and then all of a sudden it was back to back, and I felt so bad. What's up, Willie? Good to see you out there. There's Mr. Woolley, Michael Paul Woolley in the old Chatteroony. How are you and the missus doing? Johnston, Cato, Hibbs, Javorka, Grove. 8 drivers in the playoffs for this series, and the All-Star race is going on out there for NASCAR too, isn't it? Yep, that's exactly what we saw, and I felt bad for you guys too, because I know that you were all trying your darndest, and there was a few netcode issues. Netcode, it's been seemingly a problem. Miss you too, brother. Miss you too. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. All right, pitter patter, let's get at her. Green flag waves. Media Solutions, strictly stock truck series. Woo, little dicey. Kansas multi-group run. We defend on the high side. We've seen this time and time again. We watched a lot of this happen last week. Cato and Johnston side by side. Brock Johnston trying to get himself into turn 1 without any issues, and does so, but turn 3 and 4. He's going to have a whole lot of hunt on the outside. Front stretch triangle here at Kansas. Very busy. Very busy. (17-3). Gavin Hibbs right there to the bottom. Watch Cato. Cato can deliver here as the slide up the racetrack goes to the 17. The 3 right to the back bumper. James Cato is going to be able to full throttle this around that for just a little bit, but the inside line is going to be faster on the trucks for just a moment, and we'll start to see just who's going to have that speed and be able to defend that outside lane. Cato to the bottom, Hibbs there in second. Brock Johnston fastest lap of the race last time by, but not by much, by 1/1000th of a second over Gavin Hibbs. Brock Johnston 31.18. 3 to the inside of the 16. Cato working that throttle. He and Hibbs are going to be side by side. Turn 4. Front stretch again. A whole lot of action happening in the top 3. Scotty Grove up the spot. 55 making it work. Chevy's foot. We went from like 4 Chevys in a field of 30 in the last race to 4 Toyotas, no Fords in the field. Joe's the only Ford, and he's your race controller. So of the 10 drivers, we have 6 Chevys and 4 Toyotas. Johnston 31.10 last time by 0.2 of a second. Cato and Hibbs side by side. The more that Cato and Hibbs run side by side, the better off Johnston's going to be as they continue to move. 5 of 140 into the mix. Scotty Grove rolling. 52 of Rich Javorka right behind. He's going to have Richard Lakewa in at number 38. Up high, down low. Both of these drivers. There's Nick Sawyer in the 69. Jesse Cottrell in the 88. They're trying to find a groove and find their way around. Everybody's still In striking distance, I talk about smooth sailing and smooth moves. Well, this is going to be one of those racetracks that you're going to see pit strategy be a big factor, and I think this is where it's going to be. Trucks, folks often say the trucks are easy to drive around this racetrack, and quite often I can agree that the trucks are easier to drive on the mile-and-a-half circuits and a lot easier to drive on the super speedways. Maybe not so much in the road series. I think I like the B cars in the road course racing. I like the trucks at Watkins Glen. I like the Cup cars at Sonoma, and yeah, I don't know. I have my preferences. 3's going to run him up high. It's going to keep him up high as he drops into the corner. He's trying to clear the 17 of Brock Johnston. He's going to do so. He's going to slide up the racetrack. Evan Hibbs rolling. Top 3 holding on, but watch out. Don't look now. The rest of the field is catching. Huge run for the 55 and the 38. Richard upper spot. Driver off the most spots, Hope Johnston at the moment. Don't count him out. He takes his time. Rick Javorka falls to the back. The 52 just trying to carry little nicely into the corner. Almost a straight drive into that second lane. 47 is going to roll high. GT out there. GT the 76 driving that Toyota. Changed his paint scheme up a little bit this week. Kind of digging it. Ain't gonna lie. Kind of digging it. He's got a Ford paint scheme on a Toyota. Joe, B-cars are your favorite? We have a lot of drivers that say that too. There's a lot of folks out there that just really, really like the B-cars because they feel like you have to actually drive the car. And I absolutely can attest to that. Those are some wheeling dealing cars. Close racing, 10 laps in. Some of the best in the field out there still trying to find their ground. 69 of Dick Sawyer up high. Cottrell gained some speed on the 38. He's rolling the corner. I like me some B cars. I like a lot of them too. There's nothing wrong with those ones. Cato, the race leader, but for how long has Gavin Hibbs got himself around? Holt Johnston, Chevy out front, 2 Toyotas, followed by 4 more Chevys and then 2 Toyotas. Last Chevy in the field is going to be the 52. You watch him run that high line. He's going to start to figure some things out here. Most of these drivers will do that. They will figure out just how that field's going to be able to be ran. 11 of 140. We're going to let him roll for a little bit. We'll keep it on exciting. Take a local break. We'll keep this action flying by. A lot of playoff action happening. Portland, you're killer, man. Appreciate you very much. Good afternoon to you as well. Looking to get behind the wheelers. I hope to see you back here as well. And move some stuff over and around here. And I had to get some shares out there myself. Appreciate everybody. 69. Sawyer. Good run for Nick here. He's up 7 spots. He's been able to make it work. Gavin Hibbs, your race leader at the moment. James Cato back to second. Gavin super strong, super fast. Nick Sawyer trying to make it work as well. He got himself around Brock Johnston. Brock Johnston was your pole sitter, but don't count this race out yet. Everybody's going to be moving. Everybody's going to be grooving. Hopefully you're having a fantastic evening. Love to see you all out there. Single file racing for the time being. Everybody not really duking it out too much right now, but this is that long haul. This is that drive that you want to see. There's James Cato up there, quarter second, utilizing that high line, gets himself all the way into that slipstream of the 16 in front of him. Let's ride along with Cato and see exactly what he is doing up here on that high side. Gavin Hibbs taking the line away here. He moves up the racetrack. Cato gained a ton of ground on him there and had a great run. Gavin Hibbs taking a page out of that book. The Leona 16 driving that Toyota Tundra. Nick Sawyer right behind. He's been running the high line for the majority of the start of this race. 23 of 140 for the driver. Cato to the bottom now. Sawyer catching the race leaders. Gavin up next to the wall. More speed for him. You watch how James Cato utilized all of that ground to get himself there. Nick Sawyer doing just the same thing. And he is finding more and more of that groove right there next to the wall as they continue to move around. There is 69. Rolling. Brock Johnston trying to get back in the mix as well. There's the Wichita, Kansas native. Not too far from me, but not too far from this racetrack either. 16 drops in. Gavin Hibbs down low. Might find himself on pit road a little early here. Gets himself a little free. James Cato, your race leader, up next to the wall here. Hibbs on pit road. Amazing, fantastic, Wooly. Fantastic, brother. It's on there. Hashtag BCM. Good to see you, man. Justin, how are you doing? Cato, Sawyer, Johnston, Grove. And everybody's favorite, you. All of you. You are all amazing. Good run into the corner. They all go. Thank you for the likes. Thank you to all the folks out there watching on the plaid. YouTube is gaining some traction, and YouTube might be the answer to whether or not, if anybody ever asked me a choice on what platform I would love to promote. I love my Facebook following. I love my Twitch following. Facebook has been really growing. Not Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube. But YouTube has been really growing. That might be a good focus here. Either way, Cato, quarter second. Gavin Hibbs came to pit road. Got himself all squared away. Is now looking to be on a different strategy than everybody else. And we're seeing just where he is rolling. See, he's going to be a lap down, but he's going to start catching up to some of these drivers. Sawyer to the bottom, try to take the lane away from the 3 onto the backstretch. lessons learned from him to the rest of the field. Here's a look from the back bumper. How close to the wall he is getting. Look at that. He was a foot and a half away from the wall in the entrance of the exit right there. I mean that virtually, a virtual foot and a half, because Pixels only managed so much. 69 gives up a little bit of ground to the 3. Everybody up on the high line. Brock Johnston in the mix now. 55 of Scotty Grove back there as well. Richard in a 38 trying to hold on to 5th. Cottrell finds his Creekers Crafts number 88. Rolling into the corner. West Virginia native. You see his loud and proud on the hood of his truck. GT in the 76. All these trucks are still within closing distance. 52 of Rick Javorka right here. He's off the most spots, but well, I'll take that back. He's off the second of most spots. Gavin Hibbs sideways down here. Ooh, back on track. Looks like he jumped to pit. Something happened to Gavin there. Hopefully Gavin's doing all right. Nick Sawyer side by side with the 17 here on the front straightaway. I was checking on Gavin. Hopefully Gavin's going to be all right. He'll finish in 10th if he didn't jump to his pits. 31 of 140. Laps are ticking away. We're going to start seeing green flag pit stops somewhere around 40 to 45. That's about how many laps that you're going to be able to kind of work and see. 45 laps would be the magic number for most of the drivers, because that would mean they did 45 lap stints. That would put them exactly 4 pit stops for 140 laps. Huge difference in running. Huge changes as well. The slipstream works. 1769 trying to catch back up to the 3 here. James Cato trying to work his. Gavin's VR headset. No. Is that 2 weeks in a row? I have to ask, because I know that he had somebody had an issue last week or the week before, and hopefully that headset is going to be turned in. Is going to be working for himself, because that just sucks. That just really sucks. Frustrating moments for folks when those things are shutting off. And I mean, it'd be no different than my monitor shutting off in the middle of the race. I wouldn't know what's happening there. Cato feathering the throttle around the high lane. So is Nick Sawyer. Brock Johnston's going to be side by side with Scotty Grove. And to the second lane they go. Richard all over the back bumper of the 55, utilizing that second and third lane. See how Richard finds his exit here. See if he's going to be able to carry some of that speed to the back bumper of the 55. Cato is the lone wolf, almost half second out in front of second place here. Nick Sawyer, Brock Johnston comfortable in third for the time being. We'll see just how long he stays there. Scotty Grove. Ooh, whole lot of bumper action there. 55 and a 38 crossing bumper swords there. Dang it. A lot of ground made up. VR is a little more finicky than wanted, but if they were, and that's not a bad thing. I just know that VR headsets can be, if they are not charged, or they can lose connection pretty. I know that the technology is still quote unquote fairly new, but I don't think it's so new that there couldn't be better connection. I don't know. The cords are USB-Cs for the most part, and keeping things locked in and in tune. That's That's a tough thing. I've watched a couple of people have those issues, but I'm not going to knock it because I think it's an awesome. I think VR is an awesome experience, and especially for driving around iRacing, that's just incredible to be able to do. And the fact that we can do these things now is absolutely insane. So no stresses on that. Cato, Sawyer, Johnston, Grove, Likewa, Cottrell, Johnston, GT, back here at the 76. Rick Javorko came to pit road. Hopefully Gavin can get back out there and at least get some laps back in. He's only 10 laps down at the moment, so it'd be great to see him be able to make that work. 39 of 140. And like I said, the magic number here is 45 by my numbers. If they can make it 45 laps, then they can run 45, then 90. Oh, sorry, my math is wrong. It'd be 5 laps short. So 48 laps. We'll see. Split it in thirds. That's what I say. These trucks can run. I know that they do 40 and 45 lap sprints in these trucks. I believe they can run 45 to 48 laps. I know in the opens I could run 48 laps. We'll see. 55 to pit road. Even if they come to pit road now and have that 20 lap. They split it into 40 lap runs, and they have that little bitty run at the end, that little 20 lapper at the end. Wouldn't be a bad deal. Did 2 stints in the Daytona 24 in VR, rough on the ice, but it was yes. That's the thing about it too is VR somewhat gives me a headache. And it only gives me a headache because you have to train your eyes to be able to see those things, and just like with iRacing, being able to pinpoint things, watching these pixels fly by, it's devastating. It could be fun, it can still be fun, and can be very interesting. That's for darn sure. Cato, Sawyer, Johnston, Cottrell, and Holt, Johnston. Richard comes to pit road. GT's on pit road. Scotty Grove left pit road. Javorka came in on pit road on lap 35. He's first of the drivers to be looking at that. Cato looks like he's going to stay out for another lap. 43 of 140. Math is supposed to be my strong suit. I was off just a little bit. Just a little bit. 43 of 140. The longer that you can run, the more pressure you're going to be able to put on some of these drivers. 44 of 140 puts every lap that he ticks away either helps Scotty Grove catch up to the field or helps his pit stop later on. We shall see. Interesting to say the least. That's for darn sure. Look at all the followers out there. There he goes, Cato to pit road. This time by. Brock Johnston will be your race leader. He's going to stay out another lap. Cottrell and Holt Johnston are going to stay out as well. First of the green flag pit stops. Well, they're underway. Scotty Grove leads the second group around. Cato is into his pit stop. So is Nick Sawyer. Nick Sawyer, heck of a job getting himself around this racetrack and does a phenomenal job of finding his own strategy. Thank you to all the folks out there. Duck Press Media Solutions. Go to duckpress.com or call 520-795-1700 or visit them 4633 East Broadway Boulevard, Tucson, Arizona. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And they have lots of things that can help you out. Reprographics, signs and banners, digital and video work. And of course, you can do cards and more. Make sure that you go and plot and print with them, no matter where you're at in the big old-fashioned US of A, because they will absolutely enjoy it. Cottrell into pit road. He led around a lap. Scotty Grove in the 55 will now be your race leader. Sawyer gets up to speed here, ahead of James Cato. But Cato behind. Nick Sawyer finding his pace. And this is where this is going to get interesting. Jesse Cottrell stayed out the longest. Came in on 45, I do believe 46. He's going to find himself in. He did 46. He's going to try to push the boundaries here. Going to get up to speed. He's going to be behind the 17. A lot of time to be made up here as he tries to track down Scotty Grove. 3 seconds to be gained. Battle for second rages on as the 3 and the 69 make it work. 4-lap fresher tires for these 3 drivers. Second and third. Richard has a lap fresher than Scotty Grove, but Scotty doing himself some justice here. He is still holding on to his race line. National Bohemian number 55 may try to split this race up into a few different stages for himself. At least 2 more green flag pit stops for the drivers. And an interesting run for sure. If you use VR for a little while, you get used to it. First couple of days, you get headaches. Yes, yeah, I did notice that. 49 of 140. And while we do this, I want to make sure that I leave my ads on Twitch. Folks, if you're not subscribed on Twitch, I'm so sorry about it. We've got a little bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and kick those ads off so that way we don't have any more pre-rolled ads for the moment. So sorry for the 90 seconds. And while you guys are holding on too, I'm going to play some ads as well. I'm going to play one of my ads, and then it's going to be for Nerds Do Nerd Things. We love them.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join Nerds Doing Nerd Things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Still had our nerds, our Roasted Gems commercial out there. Give them a shout out. Go find Roasted Gems. I like their coffee a lot. RoastedGems.com and check out what they have. They deliver directly to your door. Scotty Grove being tracked down over the last 4 or 5 laps, only by a second a lap though. Cato out front of Sawyer. Richard into 38, just battling his own position here. Cato still running a low lane here. Nick Sawyer still running the high lane just like he was before. And thank you to everybody out there on Twitch. Sorry about the ad breaks that I have to do out there. We have to do that. That is not something that I think that we enjoy. But thank you to all the other folks out there, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. You're all amazing. Keep killing it. Keep being yourselves. Keep having fun. And keep the comments flowing. I want to hear what you guys are doing. You folks out there are amazing. Keep me doing what I'm doing here. Sawyer around Cato. That was a great pass right there. Opportunity, though, for both of these drivers to run side by side. Cato to the bottom lane here. Scotty Grove up high. I'm sorry, Sawyer up high. Second lane for both of their drivers. Sawyer a little faster there, but Cato's still able to keep up. Second lane, Cato's still going to be trying to close down that lane. There's the 55, 1.8 seconds. These drivers still trying to gain here. 69 still faster on the outside lane. James Cato still trying to close down the distance. You watch Nick Sawyer try to keep himself into a good position. Cato's going to slide up the racetrack. He's still got some tires left here. And that plays himself some justice. I don't think Sawyer's going to change much about his race line, because he's still going to be able to keep up. Cato will burn off the inside, his left side tires before the right side tires of Nick Sawyer give away, but still some racing left to do. 1.6 seconds and gaining about 24 laps before we start seeing some green flag pit stops. And the driver's still looking at it from the rearview mirror. Javorka is the last driver on the lead lap, 11.4 seconds, and he is going to be working to try to make sure that he gives himself some kind of justice here. He came to pit road on lap 35, and that is all about his time. Hold Johnston to the back bumper of the 88 of Cottrell. Cottrell looks to be finding a good rhythm here. GT has Brock Johnston in his sights. Sawyer, biggest mover of the race, up 7. Still working that high line. Still has the pace, still has the speed. And still working the number 3 truck. Huge viability, huge runs. And opportunities still working. Mark is our top star sender for the last 7 days. 200 stars. Thank you so much. Kevin Small sent us 99 on the when we were actually, he sent it to me yesterday when we were off. Charles sent stars. I appreciate Charles sending over the stars. Thank you so much for those. Man, oh man. Good run. Scotty, James, Nick. Top 3 rolling. Scotty Grove, fantastic job keeping himself out front. He is held off the drivers behind him for quite a while, and now his lane kind of seemingly just being right there. That third lane, just trying to keep himself in the mix. Drops all the way down to the race line. James Cato gives himself a little bit of a squirrely move there. Makes me think that his racing line is that of 55 still straight. It looks like the 3 might have a little bit freer of a steering ratio here. 55 is going to run the second lane here. Second and third, splits the seam. 55 up high. Cato leads this lap. Scotty Grove still trying to keep that distance between he and the 3. He's going to do so, enter the corner. Forcing the 3 to run a natural line. James Cato runs down to the bottom. Tires are a big factor, but so is that draftability. And watch Grove to the high side. 3 trying to utilize some side draft here to get himself into the corner to pull this slide job off. 55 still runs fast. 3 not clear. Oh, 69. Oh, the 3 wasn't clear. Tries to find himself there, and they slow way down. Sawyer got his right rear into the wall on the corner exit. And now Scotty Grove all but damaged a little bit there. So is Nick Sawyer. James Cato, some right rear damage there. But he looks to be okay. Nick Sawyer got himself around Scotty Grove. We'll look at the right rear of the 69. Just a little bit of crinkle there. Not too bad. His spoiler's the big thing. James Cato now has to run a little bit higher here to try to defend against the 69. Scotty Grove, check his left side here. Looks to be okay. James just, in formality, just kind of got tight, ran up the racetrack there. Now is trying to pull away from Nick Sawyer behind him. Richard, clean truck for him. He's going to have an opportunity here. If he can full send it around this racetrack, he might be able to catch some pace of James Cato. And Highline, just absolutely the dream line. Watch these guys get around this racetrack. With these drivers, some of the best in the business. Portland, I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing? Richard still trying to close some of that distance. Look at the line. You can hear the tires, the right side tires. I've got the camera kind of placed in the perfect spot here. You just hear them scrubbing and just trying to hold on. Hopefully we'll be able to see you get back out there soon. Absolutely fantastic. Brock Johnston back in the mix here. He's getting dangerously close to pulling some air off of that driver. He's going to be doing so here. Richard to the high side, 17 right there in the mix. There's a lot of room on this racetrack for these drivers to be able to move themselves around. Nick Sawyer is going to have to find his way. He may have to stop a lap earlier, try to anticipate a lap sooner, a lap more soon than James Cato here. Three, 69, 55, 17, 38. And the math is what's going to be important. Scotty Grove, 2.8 seconds back. Johnston gets him around Richard there. Buddy, I try to make sure that these leagues shine no matter what we do. Can't say. Is that the Pringles guy? Brock Johnston. It looks like the Pringles man. Hold on. Scotty, there he is. Scotty Grove. It looks like the Pringles dude. But he's got one eye. National Bohemian. That might be the truck. But he looks like the Pringles dude. All good. Scotty Grove, very impressed with Scotty's drive today. Still opportunities for him. He might come in on lap 80. You might see him run that traditional 40-40-40 and then a 20-lap sprint at the end. We shall see. Johnston in the Toyota right behind Scotty Grove. Took a long time for them to catch up. Right now, still 0.4 to half-second difference between Cato and Sawyer. Nick Sawyer still trying to close down some of that time. Runs the bottom lane. I think Cato is better on the bottom side. And Sawyer can only gain in the draft if he runs the high side. Second lane for the 69, closing in on 1 and 2. Then onto the back straightaway, half second separating. Cato pulls away just a little bit here. Sawyer still trying to utilize some of that second lane draft. Up high he goes. Right next to the wall, Cato. The driver he is trying to close down. Sawyer better in 3 and 4, running the high lane. He gains a 10th into the corner, runs the second lane here on 1 and 2. Cato runs the high lane. 0.3 of a second now gain. That might be the line that he needs to run. Cato trying to do what he does best here. High lane, Sawyer. Sawyer's better on the high side. They are running the same exact speeds relative to not close down. The only time it did is whenever they started dropping onto the front straightaway. And Sawyer closes the distance down. He's going to have to make Cato make a mistake here. Second lane for Sawyer as James Cato runs the higher lane. He's going to pull away just a little bit here. But into 3 and 4, we'll see what Cato does in comparison to Sawyer. Cato still high lane running. Nick Sawyer's going to have to try to close down some of that race line. Drops into the draft. He goes. Scotty Grove still holding on with Brock Johnston. He's there to the outside. Johnston still trying to close in his line. Tell you what, give Scotty Grove a round of applause. This dude is really on a rocket ship today. Javorka to pit lane. 0.4 of a second. Nick Sawyer down low, trying to do something different here. His lane was better on the high lane. Lost time there once he dropped low in 3 and 4. Got to try something different. 75 laps in. We're over halfway, folks. James Cato out front has led the most laps so far. Johnston and Scotty Grove still duking it out over here. 55 up high, 17 trying to close in that lane. Front stretch for Scotty Grove. Grove back to fourth by a narrow margin, but reassumes third here. He's going to run that high side. 17 still with him. 55's not going to clear. He's not going to clear the 17, or the 17's not going to clear the 55. 1 and 2, really good for Scotty Grove here. 3 and 4, not too bad either. 17, ooh, 17 gets down below the white line there. That's going to set him up the racetrack a little bit. Need some caffeine? I always need caffeine. Are you kidding me? I've got some right here. I love my coffee. Sawyer, half second, the difference. He is trying everything he can to get caught up to James Cato here. Jesse Cottrell, Holt Johnston. These two drivers are trying to find their pace. Cottrell came out on 46. He has 2-lap pressure tires in Cato. His fall off right now, though, not so bad. He came out. He's about where he is, almost exactly where he. Oh, Nick Sawyer goes around Cato. I didn't see what happened there. James Cato. Wonder if he tapped the wall there a little bit and slowed him up, because Sawyer went around like he was standing still. It happened really fast. Let's see what happened here. Since we have a chance. There's James Cato right. Oh, he did. He got into the wall. You can see it right there. Trying to run that high lane out of 1 and 2. I think he just barely tapped the wall. He did it and slowed him up. Oh, he did. See the scrapes. 69 goes by. Man. Don't count him out yet. It's not over. But now Nick Sawyer out front. He just had to bide his time there. Cato, I said it before and I'll say it again. He had to make sure that Cato made a mistake, and the mistake that he made was that he tapped the wall. But don't count out James Cato. That damages nothing. He is going to drive like mayhem from that Geico commercial. His PO'd girlfriend. Because Becky, her BFF Becky, cheated on her with her boyfriend. Whatever the case, I don't know what that is. Nick Sawyer up 9 spots. 1.76 seconds. Needs to go at least 7 more laps. Appreciate you, Ken. Yes. Cool paint scheme. I like his paint scheme. It's one of my new favorite ones. And thank you for the like out there as well. Appreciate you very much. As always, you're all amazing. 1.6 and gaining Cato back in the mix. Cato's figured out some things here. He's got the 55 of Scotty Grove with him again. Scotty Grove trying to close down the distance to the driver in front of him. They're all running that same line. Nick Sawyer might be able to save just a little bit here. I would be just kind of where I would be not normally where I would be lifting to be competitive. Now I'd be lifting just a half second. I would say half second, just a little bit more. Save some of that fuel, get yourself into the mix, and right now, Bull's just a little bit ahead. He's keeping that time the same. Cato is under fire from some drivers behind him. The 55 and the 17 running together to try to track down the 3 almost too high into the wall right there. Very close, though. Very, very, very close. GT to pit road here. He's going to leave pit road and find himself on the racetrack. 52 comes back around. He is there to the 47. Dvorka is 3 laps down at the moment. Sawyer, Cato, Grove. Grove back under fire from the 17. They're trying to... Not only is Grove trying to hold off Brock Johnston here, but he's also trying to get around James Cato. Cato is doing a phenomenal job of trying to check in and check out to the driver behind him. Scotty Grove to pit road. Johnston. Scotty Grove drove a lot longer that time than what I thought he was going to. And I think that is all within his game plan. He's going to come down pit road and try to get himself in and out as fast as possible. There's Sawyer, 1.3 seconds here. James Cato in second. Sawyer needs a different playing field to Cato because I think they are evenly matched on different lines. Cato is catching Nick Sawyer by about 5/100ths of a second a lap. Nick Sawyer in on 80. Let's see. He came in on 44. So did James Cato. Brock Johnston stayed out to 45. So did Holt Johnston. Opportunities for all of these drivers. Brock Johnston might be able to make it stick for a little bit longer. We shall see, because this is going to be a run to the end. I don't think they all can make it on one more pit stop, but it's not going to stop them from trying. If Nick Sawyer could make it around, let's see, 46 laps was the most that we saw. If he could make it around a 90, that's still 50 laps. And I don't think that he could. If he could make it 48 laps, like to lap 92, then we would be seeing Sawyer find different pace. Richard runs the fastest lap of the race last time by 30.90, blasting the fastest lap by almost a tenth. Sawyer to pit road this time by. He and Cato coming together, locking up the brakes. Cato and to pit road a little bit faster. Like Cato got into speed. Brock Johnston comes around. He is going to be trying to find an extra lap here. Holt Johnston's going to do the same. Holt Johnston will need to come to pit road, and he is all swallowed up by a bunch of traffic. That's going to be a lap down, but on fresher tires. Brock will be looking to come to pit road probably this time by. If not, he is coming to pit road right about now. Holt Johnston will look to come to pit road, maybe. Brock into pit road. Scotty Grove trying to lead GT around. GT came in on 81. Scotty Grove, fresher of the tires. Holt Johnston still needs to come to pit road. He's your race leader at the moment, as the 3 of Cato is going to be a lap down. Nick Sawyer all the way up into the lane. Holt Johnston. James Cato made up a ton of time getting himself to pit road as fast as he could, and now finds the back bumper of the 69. He was a second and a half back, now finds himself roughly about a half second back. Sorry, 0.3 of a second back. Holt Johnston to pit road. Scotty Grove, your race leader Scotty was able to defend for the longest time here. And everybody's going to have to take a splash and go. The right idea, the wrong idea, we'll see. 91 of 140. Everybody will have to come to pit road. Not one person is safe here. Holt Johnston was the closest driver to be able to make it, and he'd still be 4 laps short. So right now, it's still full send until the end of this race. Grove, Lakewa, Park, GT inside the top 3. If they can find the right time to come to pit road, maybe 10 laps to go, maybe 5 laps to go. Not even 5 laps to go. Within 10 to 15 laps to go, I think that's going to be the big case. Brock Johnston runs his fastest lap of the race, 31:05. Going around Jesse Cottrell, who's going to need a good run here to salvage his lap. Came in on the 83. It's going to be right there in the back bumper. Right there in the back pocket of the 17. Cato all over the back bumper of the 69. Nick Sawyer trying to hold on to his race because he has been evenly matched with the 3, other than trying to get himself around him. And Cato is now there to disrupt the 69's plan. I tell you what, Nick Sawyer just needs to run wherever the 3 goes. Make sure you're there. Cato to the bottom. Scotty Grove up high. Cato will try to clear him here. Looks free on the bottom. And watch Nick Sawyer get right back to the back bumper from the high side. The goal is to let them run. And right now, Scotty Grove out front. Richard got himself back around. He's a 0.3 of a second to the good. Grove has the better tires. Second lane for him is right now. Richard tries to find more speed on this racetrack. 0.3 of a second is a draftable difference here. The same with Cato and Lawrence. I'm sorry, and Sawyer. Nick Sawyer in 5th here. He's still up 5 spots. Nothing wrong with his drive right now. Maybe a chance for him to be able to save just a little bit as they move around. Good run for him. 96 of 140. Hydrate break time. And I'll be back. as the pole sitter decides which lane he's going to be running. He's going to be there to the inside of Richard here. He got himself around James Cato pretty profusely there. Now Cato up in the lane trying to get himself back around as well. Scotty Grove, still your race leader, gets himself around Rick Javorka here. I believe Javorka came in on 90, so he's going to have some fresher tires than Scotty Grove. About 6 laps, I would say. Little right side for the 52. 55, keeping his lane the way he needs to be. 105 of 140. Move over. The race line for the days. Brock Johnston still trying to close down his distance here. 1 second and gaining as the better lane and as the track has done its due diligence. Here's a look at it for you. Track temperature 71 degrees. 70 degrees on the air temperature, so not much has changed since qualifying and practice. Is now got a lot of drivers still trying to make it work. Nick Sawyer to the outside of the 38. 38 still has some speed left in that truck. He is still trying to make his lane work the way he wants it to. Side by side up next to the wall. The 69 has the speed here and is still trying to catch back up to Cato. And that has been the story of the afternoon for the 69 of Nick Sawyer. Top 3 kind of night. Scotty Grove to pit road. Decides to come in early. Wants to make it all the way to the end. And by doing so, since he was passed by Brock Johnston here, decides to make himself have his own lane here, have his own time, he wants to be able to catch up all of that time that he has. Last lap for Brock Johnston, 32.34. Best lap for him, 31.05. James Cato, 32.13 on the last lap. Nick Sawyer, 32.30. So the drivers are catching Johnston, but not before Brock Johnston had a full send moment, and we'll see what he does this time as he is up high and down low to come across the stripe here at Kansas. Fuel strategy races are my favorite races. Cato to the second lane, trying to close half second off. Johnston, your race leader, 0.7 of a second over Cato. Was half second not too long ago. Cato changes his lane. Runs higher. Sawyer, 1.6 seconds back. 0.8 of a second separate 1, 2, and 3 to each other. And then right behind Richard, another 0.8 of a second to him. 2.8 seconds and gaining to the bottom. Nick Sawyer into pit. Oh, Nick Sawyer into pit road here. Needs to back up. Oh, man, Nick Sawyer had this race in his back pocket, and man, oh, man, what a run he had. He came to pit road, and I knew that he had an opportunity, and when he came to pit road, I was wondering what happened there. What he did, let's take a look. Oh, that was there. Nick Sawyer coming to pit road here. This is where he was at. He looked like he was coming to pit road. He was down. He was hard on the brakes. Got free he locked up the brakes. And then boom. Man, oh man. 17 of Johnston out front. Scotty Grove trying to work his way back around this racetrack. He will be a lap down. Cato into pit road. Johnston trying to make it on fuel as well. Brock Johnston Fastest of the drivers right there. Richard in second, GT in third, Cottrell in fourth. Holt Johnston will go to fifth as soon as he gets himself around James Cato. Cato coming to pit road to get his full pit stop in. I would assume, 4 tires. There's a lot of racing still left. 4 tires is almost a must. Sawyer out of the race. Parked it for the day. Had the run. Had the speed. Now will find himself right where he needs to be. 114 of 140. And the question is, when does Brock Johnston come to pit road? Because this will come down to a 25-lap sprint for most of the drivers. GT in third here. Richard 3.7 seconds back. Brock Johnston 32.58 on his last lap. Scotty Grove faster by a second. This time by same lap time, 31.46. '17, enter the gas, enter the brake, clutching it in. Needs a pit stop of the ages here. As he drops into pit road, he's going to come in for his final pit stop of the race. Richard's going to be a race winner, or race leader here. Race leader here. Let me call it too soon. Going to be a race leader here. Terry Mustard, let's go, Scotty Grove. Scotty, he's had it figured out, and right now his gap between he and James Cato, 3.5 seconds. 6 lap difference on tires. 25 laps to go. 38 into pit road. 55 is going to get his lap back from the race leader. GT is going to come around. He's going to lead a lap as well. Cato back on the lead lap as well. Right there in front of the 76. Brock Johnston leaving pit road at the moment. Needs to catch up to James Cato. 3 seconds the difference between the two drivers. Now Brock is faster. He is up to speed here. GT comes to pit road as well. Cottrell coming to pit road for the last time. 24 laps to go. Holt Johnston 90 laps in. As the last time he came to pit road, GT into his pit stop here. Jesse Cottrell into his pit stop. He had to lock up the brakes as well. Holt Johnston comes around here from third, looking like he's going to be coming to pit road next time by, maybe. He's going to lead here. Scotty Grove not far off. 2.5 seconds behind him is James Cato. Brock Johnston needs to clear some of this time. He's got about 4 seconds between he and Cato here. Holt Johnston being passed by the 55. Holt Johnston will look to come to pit road in a lap or two. It's not done yet. Scotty Grove 2.2 ahead of James Cato. Cato still utilizing that bottom lane, gets his tires all the way down to the bottom of the turn. Something about the bottom of this turn that's really interesting is that you can hook the tires around this racetrack. So he drops into the corner. Watch him hook right here. 47. A little slow on the bottom. That's the difference between fresher tires. You try to work 3 to the bottom. I don't think I've heard him lift. He is driving around this track like the grip. What do I call that? Grip hack special. Look at him. He is still full throttle into the corners. Not that he's using grip hacks. I call it the full throttle special, or the grip hack special, where you can just drive around this racetrack whatever lane you want to run. Scotty Grove should be doing the same thing. He lifts a little. Utilizing the bottom of the racetrack to turn Cato into the turn as well. Drops to the bottom, pulls the air off of the back bumper of the 55. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to follow the line that the 55 does. The 3, a little free right here. You heard it just a little bit. He was a little bit free into the corner. That's where his lifting needed to start. There is Holt Johnston, Brock Johnston, 3.7 seconds back. Gives up the lane. 47 gives up the lane to his teammate there, his counterpart. 17 trying to make it work. 3.6 seconds, 18 laps to go. Scotty Grove says enough with the bottom side. I want to run high here. Did Scotty Grove save enough to try to win this race, or does James Cato have this one unlocked? Johnston behind, closing distance down very, very quickly to the 2 drivers in front of him. Scotty Grove leads another lap here, but for how long? Cato closes the distance. High line run for the 55, 3 to the bottom. Grove, Cato into the corner. Cato drops in. Will have the speed here to slide up the racetrack, and is going to do so. Grove to the bottom side. It's going to run the natural line all the way down the racetrack. James Cato to the bottom of turn of the front straightaway. 3 to the high side, 55 to the inside. Side by side battle for the 2 drivers. Holt Johnston still has yet to come to pit road. Brock Johnston comes out of 2 seconds the difference. James Cato trying to lead here. Scotty Grove has had a masterful race. He needed a few extra laps here to be able to make that work, but I tell you what, valiant effort from that driver right there. The race is far from over. 15 laps to go. You've got Brock Johnston trying to close down his lane. Scotty Grove in second. Richard in the 38's not done as well. Holt Johnston back to 5th. GT still in the mix. Jesse Cottrell still on the lead lap. 24.5 seconds back, and that is all due to his pit stop. That's all that happened right there. The reason why he's 24 seconds off is because his pit stop didn't go according to plan. Cato full second now over Scotty Grove. Brock Johnston, 2.5 distance. Each lap he is gaining roughly about 0.3 of a second to James Cato. Cato ran the bottom lane so much here that Brock Johnston is utilizing his own strategy here. He finds himself in the draft of the 55 and defending the position he can. 55 to the outside, but the 17 of Brock Johnston looks to be clear here. Side by side will be right there. Pulls the air off the 55. They're going to be side by side. Into turn 3, utilizes the lane. 17 needs a few more laps. 1.18 seconds. Scotty Grove, a 2.5 back now in third. Richard trying to close down the distance as well. He's got about 5 seconds he needs. 5.5 seconds he needs to Scotty Grove. He's got 12 laps to get it done. 3 out front by a second. But Brock Johnston on a terror here. Scotty Grove solid in third for the time being. 5.7 seconds to Richard here. The 52 of Rick Javorka in 8th. 11 laps to go. Johnston driving this truck like it's a super speedway, and he's still on that. I talked about that lap where you're kind of just driving in the corner. Well, that's exactly what Brock Johnston's still doing. Ooh, don't blink. the number 17, Cato. 0.4 of a second. The distance, the travel. Right now, 1 and 2 is going to come down to it. Cato, the Chevy. Johnston, the Toyota. Scotty Grove, a phenomenal race. 5 seconds between he and fourth. Needs every bit of this time right now. Brock Johnston closes the distance to the 3. Quarter second now. Each lap finds itself its own lane. Johnston early on kind of just fell back and kind of ran the race. In the last 2 stints, the last 2 green flag runs, he has turned on the gas and says, I am ready to go. The latter portion of this race has been Johnston. The 69 of Nick Sawyer was my pick to battle the 3. And then the 17 came out of nowhere and says, I'm not done. 8 laps to go. These drivers look so free. It is unreal. 2 seconds the distance between third. 4 seconds separate Scotty Grove and Richard Lakewa. 8 laps, now 7 laps to go. Cato trying to defend. Three natural lane, 17 natural lane. 17 has the better tires, according to the lap strategy, not necessarily the driving strategy. 3, 17, 17 in and out just a little bit there. 17 gets to the bottom side of the lane. It disrupts that tire. If you touch that little crease where the white line is, into the turn or out of the turn, it can disrupt that truck so very heavily. It becomes an issue. Scotty Grove in third. Richard Lakewa right back there in 5.8 seconds back. Richard, the fastest driver on the racetrack right now. He and GT are turning the fastest laps. Cottrell also 32.06. This last time by was not the fastest driver. GT was the fastest driver, 32.31. Richard faster than everybody in front of him. 5 laps to go. Cato high side with Johnston. Johnston has a run on him. There to the inside, pulls the air off the 3. Gets free off the corner. Inside, outside move, 17. Battling side by side for the lead. 3 up high. Cato not done. Johnston to the inside. Johnston runs up the racetrack. Keeps himself to the bottom lane. Cato has the better run. Johnston leads that lap. Cato to the high side. Brock Johnston to the bottom. Cato leads from the high side, trying to clear. 4 laps to go. Brock Johnston had the opportunity. Was unable to close the door. Cato runs the high side. Brock Johnston quarter second and falling. Runs the mid-high lane. Cato in front of him. 3 laps to go. The 2 trucks looking to try to defend. 3 runs really high right there. Johnston has a run on him again. 17 drops into the corner, second and third lane. 3 of Cato up high, 17 down low. 17 up the racetrack, 3 into the corner. Make it 2. Cato trying to defend the position here. 17 all up inside of that turn. Catching the draft. Needs every bit of it. Cato high side, 17 right there in the mix. Cato next to the wall, 17 in the draft. 17 is going to be right there to the 3. White flag wave, 17 crosses over. The drive line not done. 17 down low takes it up high. 3's going to have the run on the backstretch. They will be side by side. The air being pulled up. Oh, the 17 gets to the bottom of the 3, disrupts the lane. 3 to the bottom side, 17 to the high side. 3 drifts up the racetrack. 7-3. 17 of Johnston comes around. A little contact on the back straightaway. Almost some contact on the front straightaway. Johnston wins it here. Not without a valiant effort from James Cato. Scotty Grove comes home third. The hometown hero had a hell of a drive right there. Brock, Johnston, James Cato had an epic run there at the end, and both of those drivers have everything to be proud of. And the 17 wins it here. The Wichita native. Runs the real estate down and will celebrate at Kansas. Thank you to Duck Press Media Solutions and Strictly Stock. Kansas was a ton of fun. We'll go over the race results here in just a moment. Oh, dang, oh, dang. Race results. Johnston, Cato, Grove, Lakeowa, GT. Your top 5, Cottrell, Johnston, Javorka, Sawyer, Hibbs. And then, Joe, you finished dead last again, but you still finished. Much love to you, brother. Hopefully you're having a great day. Folks, also, trading paints. When it comes to trading paints, if you're out there watching and listening, and I will put this out there in every Discord, I update trading paints each and every single week, each and every single race. I close trading paints doesn't run 24/7. So all of the paints update each and every single race according to what trading paints throws to me. I don't have any control over that. It's just what trading paints throws me. It's a program just like SDK, just like iRacing. So whatever is there, it sends to me. So if a driver see one thing on the track, and I see another thing in the booth, that's not me per se. That's got to be something that has to deal with trading paints or whatever's going on over there, or the mix of what it is. Brock Johnston, your race winner. Let's go and talk to him real quick. So we kind of pull some stuff around. Brock, congratulations on the race win here. It took a lot. It took everything you had, and there at the end. That last half of the race was pretty much how fast could you send it around?
Pretty much, yeah. Luckily, I timed it out right on the pit estimate, but no, it was good. Fun race with Cato. I hate that we made contact, but sometimes it just happens, and I was worried he was going to get me back in 4, but luckily we managed to stay off each other there, so it's good to win.
A little bit of contact was actually that was some of the best saving as far as contact goes that we saw. It made for a very, very, very close finish. Very interesting end to the race as well. I say that field strategy races are my favorites, and this is why, because you find yourself, I know that some drivers are a couple of laps down, some things happen, but getting in and off pit road and making your line work for the long haul seems to be just exactly what iRacing is all about.
Yeah, I mean, I I'd like to say I thought through, but I just kind of guessed. I saw Cato go in about 5 laps before me, so I just threw a shot in the dark and hoped that I could stay running the bottom long enough to be able to get past Scotty, and then I knew if I got to the top, I could stay close to Cato. So it's good to win.
Brock, you did a great job, and that only benefits you going forward. Next week is going to be a whole different ball game. You know, we go to Richmond, which Richmond is it's a tough, tight track, and a lot of lifting points there, but it's still going to be I still think it's going to be a really good race. And then we're going to finish everything up at Daytona the following race. And so you're going from 1.5 miles to flat, tight track and then wide open spaces. What do you expect for the next couple of weeks?
Absolute chaos, I would imagine. I'm glad I locked myself into Daytona through this one because I did not want to do it at Richmond. That's for sure. There's a lot of good guys here and tight quarters. I just, can't give too much, but you got to show respect. I'm glad I'm out of that one because there might be some feuds after that. So,
well, feuds going into the playoff, going into the championship race would be great to hear. No, I'm totally joking. Brock, congrats on the race win here. Give you shout outs, man. And once again, just a great finish to that race.
Yeah. No, I got to thank everybody that sponsored this deal. Flying Aces, Links Creative, Duck Press for being our title sponsor, Creekers Crafts, Black Car Mafia, Signature Esports, iRacing Warrior Motorsports, and Creekers Crafts. I mean, everyone that made this deal go around. I don't race a lot of asphalt, so it's been fun to race with these guys and progress a little bit through the series. So
yeah, you keep improving and you're showing just exactly where you need to be. Brock, look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Thank you, sir.
Always, that's the man. That's your race winner. Let's talk to the guy who led the most laps today. James Cato comes in second, right where you started, but not without a valiant effort. You guys made that end of that race more interesting than 50 Shades of Grey with the movie rolling at the same time.
Yeah, that was a blast. I don't know how we both didn't end up. He tagged me on the backstretch, and I almost got him out of turn 4. I'm amazed how I was able to hold him off as long as I did. I was so loose at the end. I just didn't want to wreck both of us. Probably the most fun battling I've had for a win, especially for a win on iRacing in the 45 years I've been on here, something like that.
It'd be a great simulator to be out for 45 years. I heard
4 to 5.
I know. I heard. No, I know. I was just getting ready to say I heard 45. I know you said 45. The drive line. So 10 to 15 laps, you can full throttle around. We were following along with you. I call that full speed kind of drive around Kansas. I call it the grip back special because that's what Kansas seems like. You can get into 1 and 2 and 3 and drive it all the way to the bottom, and then 3 and 4 you can find that finesse and you don't have to lift for about 10 or 15 laps. We followed along with you, and I was like, man, it just sounds like he is not lifting, and sure as all get out, you were not. What is that where tire saving kind of goes out the window? That last stint, you're just like, you know what, I've got to be where I need to be at the end of this one. I'm gonna just keep rolling.
Yeah, definitely on that last one, on that last stint there. I had planned to pit when I did, and I knew once Brock got me before that last pit stop, once he got in front of me, I knew it was going to be tough to hold him off. So when I did pit, I was just full throttle trying to get it out as far as I could, and I thought I was safe at first when he came out, and he was like 4.5 seconds behind me, but I quickly realized he was going to catch up. So I was just trying to go as fast as I could. Then once he got there, I was just trying to stay in front of him, keep him in dirty air, and it worked for all but one lap, the last one. But it's tricky. Kansas is tricky. I was never sure which running the top was faster, run to the bottom. I didn't know which way to go, so I was just guessing each time, honestly.
When you and Nick were running each other, he was better running the high lane out of 3 and 4, and you were better on the bottom. In 1 and 2, you were better on the high lane. He was better on the bottom. If that's any comparison, you guys fought each other for 40 laps, 50 laps for the most part, and it was always, I would say 50 laps. So it was more like 60 or 70 laps. where it was an alternating factor there, where one of you was catching each other, and you and Nick had probably. I know the end of the race was great, but the middle of this race between you and that 69 were absolutely just, you were killing it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun racing Nick there, and it was like I'd get a 10th one lap, he'd get a 10th on me next lap, and we would stay about half a second apart there for the longest time. But yeah, once again, I didn't know where to run. I was just kind of trying to, I don't know. I mean, I was just trying to stay out in front of him. Whatever line felt better the lap before, I took it. If it didn't feel good, then I tried going to the top sides. It was crazy. It was a blast. That was one of the most fun races in a long time.
And we get to move on to Richmond next week, and or I'm sorry, the week after. We're going to take I think we're taking a week off for I believe so. If not, we're running next week. Either way, it's Memorial Day weekend next week, and I don't know what's going on, but we'll see.
Yeah, we're taking next week off and then going to Richmond the week after. I believe there's some guys that's planning to go to the Coke 600 next Sunday night. So
sweet, full send. That's a great race. James, always a pleasure, my man. Congrats on the P2 finish. Good points day for you. Moving into this final round, and before that championship race, I think it's going to be a good series. It's going to be good to see what happens. Congratulations, of course, on having this season just kind of be what it is and moving forward. Give you shout outs and P2 today.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Brock Johnston, Nick Sawyer, Scotty, everybody for racing good and clean that race. I believe we went green the whole way, so that was awesome. It's glad to see him get a win, but I'd like to thank you for broadcasting the race, all that you do for us. The Flying Aces, Lens Creative, Duck Press Media Solutions, Creekers Craft, Black Card Mafia, Signature Esports, iRacing Warriors, Motorsports, Grand Home Furnishings, just everybody that helps us come out here and have fun on Sunday nights.
That's the point. Got to have fun. If it's a video game, if you're not having fun and being able to be competitive, then it's just Warzone.
That's right. That is right.
James, we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Always the number 3 comes home second. Let's talk to this guy. This is the guy that I was most impressed with all race long, and I said that time and time again, over and over again, because I thought you had the strategy figured out. I thought you were going to be the one that I said won this race based off of just being the smartest one out there. But you come home third, and you had enough speed there at the end to hold off some drivers with some new tires behind you. Scotty, congratulations on a P3 finish. You put up a tough fight today.
I appreciate it, man. That last run, I pitted about, I want to say, 3 to 4 laps too early. I thought from the run before I had enough speed on old tires, but I was just off a little bit.
I think that was my guess too. Right there at the end, I was like, you probably needed about 3 or 4 more laps. And if you had done that, you would have been able to hold off at least James for sure. Brock had something going on. He I don't know. He must have put some monster energy in the back of that truck, because it was flying too. But still, phenomenal race, and you chose to run consistent lines. You didn't really change it unless you had to defend something.
Yeah, I really like here. I like to run the bottom about the first 20 laps. I tend to stay down there a little longer than everybody else. I've run here a couple times in some leagues this week and had a lot more success running 3 and 4 on the bottom the whole way through the run. I don't know if the track was a little cooler. I didn't check the temp tonight in this league, but it didn't seem like it would work as well tonight on this track the way they had it set up. So everybody had to seem pretty much go against the wall. But I usually like running the wall 1 and 2 late, and then still hook the bottom. But it was still a good time.
A good race and a whole lot of fun to watch. And who'd have thought that 10 drivers would make 140 laps? Well, first and foremost, finished in under an hour. But on top of that, as entertaining as it was, Richmond's going to be a blast, and it's going to be good to see what you guys are going to do for the next couple of races before the end of the season comes up as well. What do you expect kind of going forward for the next 2 races? You got Richmond, which is flat and tight, and then you've got a super speedway for the championship race. Where is the Where's the bread and butter for this next one?
For me, out of the two, give me Richmond all day. Super speedways, it's all about who can help you, and there's about, it seems like 27 strictly stock guys in here, so they're going to have a really good shot when we get there. It's going to be really tough for me to make next week's race because of family obligations. Going to really try, but really hope to be able to be around for Richmond.
My man, it's always a ton of fun, and you just had this race. I was rooting between you and Nick Sawyer. I was rooting for you two, and then here comes Brock Johnston.
Yeah, he was good. Good on them fresh tires. He had a lot of speed.
He did, and you guys just made it an entertaining race. Scotty, give you shout outs out there. Congrats on the P3 finish here. You had some people out there from the BCM fam giving some love, and like Terry was out there, Justin Sumner was out there as well. Give you shout outs.
Yeah, gotta thank them guys. Gotta thank the Colonel, Terry. He's the boss man. Sumner, Ricky, the Rev, Joey, and old DC, David Crum. They're my teammates, good group of guys, and definitely got to thank the league, Strictly Stock, Duck Press, Creekers Crafts, Black Car Mafia. I'm trying to think, iRacing Warriors, and just everybody involved. It's been a good league.
It's been a solid one.
Definitely got to thank my personal sponsor. It's not only car this week. It's my uncle's Rain and Ordnance, his firearm sale company.
Full send. That's what I say, Scotty. Congrats on the P3 finish. We'll see you. Hopefully we see you next week, and if we don't, we'll see you for Daytona.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. Scotty Grove, the man himself, finishes in third, and that was a great race. Two great races today. I know that the one earlier had quite a few cautions, but it was still a finish. You know, it was still right there at the end. It was a lot of drivers, a lot of battling, a lot of things that had to happen to make it work. Brock is better than Holt Johnston, it says on the screen. I just now realized that. It's awesome. Much love, folks. Thank you to Duck Press Media Solutions. Of course, go to duckpress.com. Make sure you check out all the printing solutions that they have. Absolutely fantastic company. Thank you to Strictly Stock and all the folks over here. Thank you to my personal sponsor, Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast. We love what they do. Thank you to Roasted Gems for being on board with us and having some great coffee out there. We love the family over there, Zimmerman and all the folks. They absolutely do a phenomenal job. But thank you to each and every one of you out there. I appreciate each and every like, follow, subscribe, comment, just view. I appreciate every bit of it. And folks, I couldn't do it without you. IVRL tomorrow night. And, oh man, big week coming up. We'll see you in the next one.